We did a lot of study and we found out that Malaysia actually has a super huge plastic pollution problem. Many people, they have a lot of reusable bags and reusable cups at home, but not a lot of them, they have the incentive to go and reuse it. So the idea came about, why not merge the idea of a reusable bag and a membership card, so that when someone reuse the bag, they can collect points from the retailers or collect points from a specific brand. With our technology, we essentially attach NFC chips and QR codes onto the traditional reusables like the bags and cups and make it a smart reusable. It all functions like a game, like Pokemon Go. Once a shopper, they have a bus loop powered smart reusable, they go to a featured location, which right now we have more than like 8,000. Those are like 99, 7-Eleven, Aeon, places like that. When we applied for the Gamuda Inspiration Award, one thing we had in mind was to also, how can we achieve the same mission but also reduce the environmental impact of our solution, which sometimes people already have their own reusable bag, they have their own reusable cup. So it doesn't really make much sense for them to get something new. So what we applied for was actually to create NFC keychains instead, and also QR stickers that people can actually get and apply to their own reusables. So we want to make it easy also for people to participate in this. So we are creating a web app, so people don't need to download anything, and it's an easy scan and go.
The tapir population in the country is between 1,500 to 1,200. Almost every year, we've seen more than 10 tapirs died on the road. The main reason why we established this tapir food bank, so that we can have a source of good nutrition to feed for the tapir before they've been released back to the forest. And as we cannot avoid development, we have to coexist. So not only it benefits to tapir, but it also benefits to porcupine, sambar, and other wildlife too. Tapir Food Bank actually is an initiative by MNS where we work together with Felda and Perkhidmatan. Felda actually is providing us a land for us to do the tree planting. And later on, Perkhidmatan will come to the picture right after 6 years. Why 6 years? We need the plant to grow up, and later on, Perkhidmatan going to prune the trees to feed the tapir at their rehabilitation center. This project, you not only plant trees, you also plant the trees that benefit the tapir, where actually the trees will be used to feed the tapir later on. And this is for our future generation. So the project doesn't end here. It lasts forever, we hope. Because this land that we signed the MOU with Felda is meant for perpetuity. So we hope this project can continue, and I do hope more people will come and step forward, be voice of our wildlife and our fauna.
We basically volunteer ourselves in one of the shelter homes, and we saw these kids coming from difficult backgrounds and struggling with self-worth, a weight of unspoken emotions. I'm a registered counsellor in my profession, so I designed an EQ program to empower these children so that they could equip themselves with the skills to navigate through these difficult emotions, to find their voices and to build resilience. So fast forward 9 years later, and currently we are reaching out 150 shelter home children across Klang Valley. We are offering weekly consistent EQ classes to these children.
I thought to myself that someone has to do something, and so my wife and I, we started having clothing.
So he has this idea that we can turn it into a social enterprise where we can use the artwork that our students did, and then we could sell the t-shirts to fund this program.
Throughout those 9 years, we were able to witness positive transformation from those kids, and that is a very huge validator for us to sustain the whole program.
All they need is the right support, and the skills is something that can be learned. So which is why I've been advocating for this. I have seen how when a person equips themselves with these skills, they are really able to overcome a lot of life challenges.
When the community mentioned to us that they actually value education, they want their kids to have access to education, but either the school is too far or the kids are too young to stay in a dormitory. So they said a community learning center setup would be good, but they needed some support. So that's where we came in. We came in first with support for food, and then with support for education as well to set up this PDK, or Village Montessori. How it essentially works is that young children, before they enter mainstream education, are at least given like a village Montessori type education to ease their transition into school, formal schooling. So they have access to fun and play, they have access to basic reading, counting, writing, and access also nutrition. Over the years, we have noticed that the children were very much more engaged in education. They were very positive about classroom settings and then became very ready to then transition to mainstream school. I strongly believe that if all the children are given this sort of opportunity, they are able to shine. That with this funding support, the communities will be very motivated to continue doing the good work that they're doing for their younger generation, and that other communities also will have opportunities to do the same for theirs.
Dari Dapur is a campaign where we brought Malaysian celebrities to dine in the homes of migrants and refugees in Malaysia. So we wanted Malaysians to get to know migrants and refugees other than through their suffering story. We wanted it to be a celebration of each other, of one another.
Yeah. Guys, missing out.
Kalau anak sakit, dengar sakit macam nak terbang.
She would just fly back herself with her own arms as wings. Kalau dia ada pilihan, semestinya dia nak bersama dengan keluarga dia.
And have you made friends? No, check. Oh, dear. Why?
They don't go to school, that's why.
What would your wish be? You don't want to be a refugee? Okay. She said, I wish I wasn't a refugee anymore, and I thought I was going to lose it. I was going to lose it.
My grandparents also come to Malaysia with no document. Everybody has a migration story. You just have to go back further.
For us, those friendships are something we hope Malaysians can also see. These friendships can also form in your neighborhoods, because everywhere in your life you have migrant workers and refugees. But we can all decide together we want to make these relationships work. When new people come in, our community changes a bit, and it's not always for the worst.
We are a resource center for community security and also human rights based in Sabah, where we provide information management, empowerment, and also professional services. Our organization also organizes human rights training, leadership training to the local communities in the East Coast, in the border region, and also in the interior. And we are organizing peace building and also a leadership youth camp where we bring together young people across Sabah from various race, religion, gender, and socio-economic status, including those who are of different nationality residing in Sabah. And this camp is to create a conversation on various issues and also aspirations involving young people in Sabah, especially those from the rural area who were not given the opportunity due to their isolated lives and also disadvantages. Last year, speakers, from the police, ESCOM, and also young people from East Coast and West Coast mingle for 6 days together and listen to their stories. How is your story in the island? And they share that people as also human being, and not only because now the young people, they only face internet. So what we want to bring is face your peers. They also have their own problem in the communities. So let's have a conversation and be curious, not judgmental.
So in Gaia, what we're trying to achieve is safe nesting opportunities for hornbills. The unique thing about these birds is they are cavity nesters. They cannot make these cavities themselves in the trees. They actually have to rely on other animals such as barbets and woodpeckers to start these cavities for them. But due to historical logging, all those large trees that have those cavities have been removed. Bear in mind, these cavities take years to form naturally. So when human beings come in and take these big, large trees for their timber purposes, the hornbills, they find it hard to find a place to nest in. And we try to create artificial nests, particularly for the large-bodied hornbills. And whatever tree cavities we come across, we take the location, we record it, and then we try to visit it again. The climbers will go up, inspect it, and try to restore it, improve it for the hornbills. That time I was only pursuing my PhD. And I was very curious to try and restore tree cavities. I was curious to see if it would work. So we attempted it with hutan, and to our amazement, from the 6 trees we worked on, 4 were successful, and it ended up leading to 9 oriental pied chicks. So that was a big wow moment for me. And these kind of things, it's like an addiction. So you want to do more and more and more. Yeah.
In order to get one baby, it is estimated around 5 to 20 gibbons will die just to get one baby as pets. When the poachers go to the jungle, they will definitely aim for the baby if they get the demand for a baby gibbon as pets, right? But the father will protect the family first, so the father will be shoot first. If they have siblings, the siblings will be shoot also, and then lastly the mother. We rescued and rehabilitate the victim of illegal wildlife trade, the gibbons, and we rehabilitate them for the purpose to release them back to the wild. Apart from that, we also do community engagement, where we work together with the local community to conserve these species. It's a bit challenging to rehabilitate the gibbons because they are monogamy. So 3 characters that makes them similar to us human. One is they're socially monogamy. Second, they talk using vocalization. They have this gibbon language. And then the third one, they work bipedal in long distance. And gibbons are the fastest primates, where they can swing from one branch to another branch 50 to 70 kilometers per hour. The same like when you ride a motorcycle. What's so special about gibbons also, they are the only singing primates in the world. So when they sing, it gives melody to the jungle, and all of us can work together to make the forest sing again.
And when you think that the oceans provide half the oxygen we breathe and nearly all of the protein we eat, we're not doing anywhere near enough. If we're going to ensure that fisheries are sustainable, change has to happen. And I can't stress that enough. We cannot just sit, let it be business as usual. Change has to happen so that the next generation of fishermen still have fish to fish, and the next generation of Malaysians still have fish to eat. In order for that to happen, change has to happen. We have to become a lot more responsible how we use the resources in the ocean. The near future goal is really to continue to expand our reach in places where currently nothing else is happening. We want to expand into Sarawak. We want to be able to have an impact. But even more importantly, I think, is there's going to be new generations of Malaysian people that do this. And it's people like Liana, people like Casey and Shahiran and Chris. They're going to be the ones that continue this into the future. When they came in to MRF, it was a job. And today it's a passion. And to see that happen, to see that change happen, and to think that when I step down and don't do this, there's people like Liana and Casey, Chris, it fills me with pride.
So Host Malaysia itself specifically work in the Kota Blut area, the Kedamaian, which is the foothills of Mount Kinabalu, because there are over 74 poverty-stricken villages just in this area alone, with most families struggling to survive due to water, food insecurity, and low income. We have mainly been focusing on 4 areas of work: gravity water systems, sustainable farming, business empowerment, and also bridge repairing. We have actually helped more than 11,000 people to sustainably improve their livelihoods. We have conducted more than 50 different projects in 40 localities here. After joining our workshop, you can see this progress. Slowly they will have raised beds, slowly they will have vegetable harvests, slowly they'll have fish ponds. Through their efforts, through our support, equip them with something which they can have for generations. Not just something short term, something that will just go away tomorrow, but something that they can replicate and teach maybe their children, teach maybe their neighbors who couldn't join our project. Our ultimate goal is to empower these families with the means, the skills, the tools, the knowledge to overcome the cycle of rural poverty and escape it for the future generations.
Waktu kita bermula, Khairul cuma berumur 14 tahun. Di siring rumah, kena panas, kena hujan.
Murid yang aku ajak masa itu sekarang sudah menjadi cikgu kepada komuniti dorang sendiri. It's sangat memberi peluang kepada cikgu-cikgu, diberi peluang untuk terus berkembang, mau melahirkan pemimpin-pemimpin yang ada di Oman adalah begitu. Kanak-kanak yang sekolah di e-school sudah sampai 58 orang. Ada 2 sesi, pagi dan petang. Ada beberapa subjek, Melayu, sains, matematik, marine, dan seni dan budaya. Ada satu kelas lagi dinamakan kelas vocational. Kelas-kelas kemahiran lah. Kelas menjahit, menganyam, memasak, kelas digital, buat video, muzik.
Mereka mempunyai keperluan kesihatan yang sangat mendalam kerana tidak mempunyai air bersih yang mencukupi. Banyak pelajar kita yang mempunyai penyakit kulit, kudis buta yang sangat infectious. Rakan kerjasama kita menubuhkan kesihatan komuniti. Kita memberi mereka tangki air dengan memberikan pendidikan yang menyeluruh. Harapan kita adalah mereka mencari solusi kepada masalah yang mereka melihat di Omada. Mereka nampak, oh ada masalah sampah di Omada, buat perangkap sampah.
Dah lebih 100 kg sampah di Omada dorang kutip. Setiap hari kutip, keringkan, timbang dan bawa ke Sempurna. Kami mau untuk memperkasakan kanak-kanak tanpa mengira status kalau ada dokumen atau tidak dokumen.
So what do? Basically, we study monkeys. Yeah, monkeys in natural habitats or even monkeys in urbanized area. We're able to use all this science-based data to plan for conservation action for these species of primates. One of our notable projects is the road canopy bridge project. We install road canopy bridges in 2 different locations in Penang, and these 2 road canopy bridges are also the only 2 canopy bridges in Malaysia itself in urban setting. So we are proud to say that so far we have assisted multiple wildlife and close to 9 species of wildlife to cross the road safely. But behind one canopy bridge, there's 1 year of stories between people and monkeys. How we work with the community, get their social science opinion regarding monkeys, how we utilize the data from the people and monkeys combined together, then we're able to get the approval from the government sectors. We emphasize a lot on youth empowerment and capacity building so that we're able to nurture more young scientists to emerge from local scene. By engaging with people of all ages, we're able to make environmental education more inclusive and more accessible through educational materials that are creative and innovative. For example, storytelling material. Most important is the groundwork, the community engagement that is conducted continuously despite the completion of one project. Yeah, this is something I'm really proud of, to maintain the connection between people and between people and monkey. And this is something we need to learn how to foster and regain our empathy and compassion towards not only animals but also among people.
Kelak alami lah yang banyak membantu nelayan di Tanjung Kupang ni. Dia nampak apa tujuan yang nelayan kat sini. Sebenarnya kita bukannya daripada segi nak ambil untung aja. Kami lebih kepada macam jaga alam sekitar juga. Macam jumpa ikan, kemejan, kuda laut. Macam kami cuba lepaskan juga. Dan macam sampah pun kita tak akan buang ke laut macam itu. Saya pun sendiri berubah bila dia orang masuk. Banyak saya berubah. Kami akan pastikan barang yang balik tu betul-betul fresh. Dan kami sambil tu kita akan mengajar macam customer yang datang membeli, bukannya kerana duit ataupun dia boleh dapat ni semua barang lah. Kita akan bagi-bagi semua sekali merasa. Apa ni, sama-sama merasa hasil laut tu lah. Pasal hasil laut pun dah tak macam dulu banyak. Dan nelayan ni kita bawa dia kepada melancong, bawa orang jalan-jalan naik bot. Dia sebelum dia pergi jalan-jalan naik bot tu, dia boleh beli barang hasil laut yang nelayan tempatan kita, terus masak ke warung situ. Jadi dia tahu kualiti tu yang sebenar macam mana. Apa maksud kualiti? Target saya nak besarkan warung dan saya nak cuba buat tempat beli ikan untuk nelayan. Dan baik pulih jeti ni saya naikkan raket tempat memancing lah. Kita nak buat macam ekosistem. Pasal sini ada kawasan seagrass. Kita nak buat macam tempat pelancongan. Jadi orang tahu ada tempat seagrass. Kenapa saya semangat, makin bersemangat? Sebenarnya atas kawan-kawan saya banyak tolong saya. Daripada dulu memang tak pernah dapat peluang macam ini. Tetapi bila kawan-kawan saya yang daripada Kuala Lumpur, yang daripada kampung tetap support. Tanpa dia orang, kita takkan berjaya. Itu yang penting. Thank you.
There are more than 250 ethnic and sub-ethnic groups that have been classified as Dan Lai Line. So Malaysia was formed in 1963. And our whole life of this formation, we still do not know each other. Like this group, the Kalabids, Who are they? Who are these Ukit-Bukit people that we do not know about? Who are the Kenya, the Kayan? What makes them different than the other? So this project is to dedicate to figure out, by spending time with them, just hearing them out, videoing them, getting all the stories, getting all the content out, in hopes that we can play a part to level and make it simple and humanizing so that we get to know each other a little bit better. Because if the level of playing right now, we are living in our world of Malaysia, is here, but then we don't know anything here, which is really bad. I think even just a little effort can level the plains and create ripples. Because canvas art, we focus a lot about restoring the old photographs and having it archived properly. My focus is to expand it in a unique way, videography and content creation. But secondly, to have engagement, having exhibitions and cultural events, in a more respectful way and in a unique way and fun way. I think all this plays a part in our growth as a nation as well.